This is going to be the bias for the trading week of April 27 to 1st of May. So I want to walk you through how I'll be determining the bias for the week. So right here on the right corner of my screen are the pairs that I trade. These are my watch list. I trade just these pairs. So the first one I want to look at is GBP AUD. So I usually start my analysis on the weekly time frame. So while on the weekly time frame, I just want to know what is the draw on liquidity. So the draw on liquidity is what gives me narrative or my bias, what I'm expecting for the week, or what the market should do for the week, or where the market should go towards the week and why it should go there. So looking at this chart right now, you can see that overall GBP AUD has been bearish. And earlier last we just touched this volume imbalance. Market reacted towards this volume imbalance and this fair value gap, and then it dropped. So, and usually the market does two things. It runs from a place of imbalance or fair value gap to liquidity. So after reacting to this fair value gap here, or this gap, so the next place in my mind the market wants to run to is the next liquidity. So what is the next liquidity? It is either here or here. This swing low here. So I believe this is where the market is running to. So that's why I have it here, DOL, draw on liquidity. So I am what? Bearish. So this is where I am aiming for. So I'll keep going down and then looking for market structure shifts that will support me on the idea of going bearish. So this is the daily time frame. And if you look clearly, you will see that we have a fair value gap and an order block. So, and when you see an order block that has a fair value gap, that is a high probability order block. So what I'm looking for, I'll be looking forward to is the market doing this, maybe running to this order block and then coming down to this target. So that will be that for GBP AUD. So I'll be looking for the market to do this. I'm going to stick to only selling GBP AUD throughout the week. If there is any counter trade I should engage in, probably it is maybe trying to see if I can buy up to this point and then sell, but I'm not going to do that. So let's go to Euro USD and see the buyers. Okay, I like to start from the weekly and then let me see what's happening. So this is an order block we just bumped on, and after this order block, you've seen that we created a 3 candlestick pattern formation. So after this 3 candlestick pattern formation, now I'm expecting that the market should start dropping to where? If you look closely, you will see that it's a fair value gap here. So I think this should be the next place the market should be drawing to. This should be the target for the week. So it might go past this fair value gap, and if it breaks it and keeps going, then we'll keep going lower. Where should we aim for? We can come down here. But if it doesn't want to come down here, there are two things it can do. Either come down to this fair value gap and then bounce back and start going up, or it can come all the way down to this other block, then start going up later on. But the main target, closest target, is this fair value gap. So I'm going to remain bearish. Let me go down to the daily time frame and see if there's anything. Okay, this is that reference point. That gap on the weekly time frame is not too clear. I think I should let me make it, yeah, sorry, to be more visible. So what am I expecting? On the daily time frame, we see this order block. So I'm expecting that the market should at least tap into this order block, then use it to send price lower. So what am I expecting for Euro USD? Market should get to the order block and then drop down to this fair value gap. So that is the target for the bearish. Then for USD card, let's go and see. USD card is usually the opposite. It usually does the opposite of Euro USD, but let's still look at. Okay, right now on the USD card, what am I seeing? Okay, We have this other block here. Okay, sorry, let me start with the weekly so it gets more, we'll get more clarity. All right. So on the weekly, all I can see it's, man, I can't really explain this, but it's just bearish. It's just bearish. If you trade CRT, this is on the weekly time frame. If you trade CRT, you will know that what just happened here is a candle range theory. So this theory says that whenever you see this is a candlestick range high, let me delete this thing so it tries to be more clear. This is the range high and this is the range low. So right here we have, what did he even call this one? The turtle soup, right? Yeah, after a range. So we got the turtle soup that wicked the range low and then went back. So this means that this indicates what? Bullishness. And it happened around the key level. So what is the key level? This other block. Here is an other block. So this happening here supports that USD card is going to be what? Bullish. So we should be targeting the range high or 50% first, half of the range, which is, if you should demarcate this thing now. So this should be our first target, and then these are second target. So let's go down to the daily to see if it can be refined further. All right. On the daily time frame, I don't see anything supporting this market to be bullish. Rather, what I'm seeing here is bearishness. So for today, we are going to observe and wait till the market gets inside. So currently what I'm seeing here is the market reacting towards this fair value gap, and maybe it still wants to come down one more time before going up. But on the daily time frame, there's a three candlestick pattern here suggesting that market should go up. But whenever I see a three candlestick pattern, I usually target the high, which market has really hit that target. So I don't know what it wants to do right now, but I know that I'm overall bullish, but I'll wait for more confirmation. But let us look down to 4 hours to see if maybe there's something clear. Okay, I can see. All right, I think it looks clearer here. So you can see here market structure shifts on the 4 hour time frame. This is the market structure shift or break of market structure or change of character, whichever one you take. And then you can see here there is inducements. So I think the market wants to run down to these inducements, and then this is okay. I think that's what it wants to do. Then this is another block. With this other block is not a high probability other block because it does not have a fair value gap. So I think the market wants to do this, just to come down to this other block and then move up. So I think that will be the target, what we should be expecting for USD card. Now let's go to Euro JPY. On the weekly, I have okay, Euro JPY is just bullish, so there is nothing. Looking at it, you don't need a soothsayer to tell you whether this pair is. See, since the year started, since last year, it has been bullish on the weekly. Let's also look at the daily time frame and see what it's doing. Weekly says bullish, daily is saying what? Mm, okay, nothing is clear. It is just choppy. Let me clear everything I have here. Let me keep my charts clean. All right. I don't see anything clean here. Nothing clean. Let me come down to 4 hour. The thing it seems like it's even going down, but I don't know. Okay, it seems like we're a little bit retracing. You can see market respected this other block, and then right here, maybe it also respects it. Okay, it respected it again here. So if it wants to keep going down, I think this should be the target. This should be the drawn liquidity. And then, because I didn't say anything clear on the daily time frame, so maybe this is what it wants to do. It wants to go down to this point. You understand? You just want it to just go up and then drop. Sorry. You may wait for it to see if it goes up one more time. I would like to see if it can go up, because already it is creating a range. So whenever the market creates a range, it usually likes to, like, it is creating buy and sell orders. So it would be wise for you to wait for it to either clear the stops. So let it allow you to do something like this. Clear these highs, take out this high, run into this other block, and then drop down, right? So that would be my expectation for Euro JPY. Now let's move. I think we are done for Forex. Let us look at for uh, the German indices, one of my favorites and very easy to trade. Right, let me start with the weekly. Okay, what do we have here? All right, these are three. Okay, 4 consecutive order block. You can see the market has given us a 3 candlestick pattern inside a fair value gap inside this level. Let me delete this one. It's not necessary. So what should we expect? You should expect what? Bearishness. This pair should start going down, should start retracing at least to this point. Yeah, that low. That will be the target for my weekly, for the week. This is where I wanted to get to for this week, this trading week. That's the target. It might get here, it might not get to this place. It might still bump up and still go up. Last week I was expecting it to close this gap here, but it didn't close it. If it will not go down, it might close it. I don't know, but based on what is happening right now, I'm expecting it to come down here. Let me look down to the 4 daily time frame and look for further information. For now, there is no information supporting the idea except for the fact that this will go up. Right here, what I'm seeing on the daily is, you can see this other block, consecutive order block. The market has reacted and given us a 3 candlestick pattern. This is one of my favorite trading patterns. So it helps me to determine that's a swing low. So after the swing low, it's expected that today has to be bullish at least, even though weekly says it will come down. But from what I'm seeing here, at least today, for today being Monday, we should be bullish. Maybe later in the day, it may not start coming down, but what I see here is bullishness. So that will be my bias for this. And all I just have to do is to go down and keep looking for supporting ideas. Okay, you can see we already have a market structure shift on the 4-hour. Market will likely come down, but like I said, I'm expecting it to go up, so it might still come back and maybe clear this high one more time. For traders who trade SMC, this might be your setup: high, low, inducement. So wait to come and take out this inducement and then drop. So two people concept might be working within this area. Now lastly, let's look at US 100. So my bias for this is bullish, so there's nothing. It has been on all-time high, so look for bullish entries to engage in these markets. So that's it. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Thanks for watching.